Good morning. See my little bar? Yes, it's working. Yes, yes, yes. July 16th. What are we a month away from? School starters one. Well, this is July 16th, so we're a month away from August 16th. What happens on August 17th? All the NAR settlement changes happen. What are we not prepared for yet? All the changes. So we'll be talking for the rest of this week about buyer broker agreements, essentially, but the listing agreement is going to change. Our method of compensation is going to change. We had a lot of decisions to make. So I really want you guys to tune in as much as you can as we approach this next 30 days, because it's going to be very different. Not bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. It's going to be different. And there's big fines. First automatic fine is $500. Second one is $2,500. You have to have a buyer broker agreement every time you show a house before you show it. This is to be different. It's going to be really good for us, but it's going to be very different. So we'll get really comfortable with it. Let's jump right in. I'd like to get Megan not out of the way, but I know she's got things to do. So let Megan go first. Give us a little update. They did the most boring training ever on estoppels and made it interesting and took a whole hour. It was pretty cool. So thank you for the education.
You are very welcome. I wanted to let everybody know as well. Everybody should be familiar with our receptionist, Tammy, that joined us a couple months ago. She had a great opportunity that she could not pass up that would benefit her family tremendously. So she has left us, unfortunately. So we are looking for an excellent candidate to fill that position. If you know anybody interested, we are hiring for a receptionist for our front desk in Apollo Beach. And then I also wanted to touch base on what you were talking about with the broker agreements. We will be doing a class in August from our underwriter on the broker agreements. So as we get closer, I have a flyer already. I just thought it was too early to push out. So as we get closer, I'll push that out. I think it is August 16th, but I'll verify that and send it to you, Craig.
Okay. Super. Yeah. Change it to title companies too.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay what to who? Is the seller going to pay the buyer broker? Is the broker going to pay the buyer broker? All these decisions have to be made. It's going to be very interesting. Thank you. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
Jeff Beggins is online. 9 o'clock. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Germany. Welcome, brother. All right. You know, I tell you, I do that Matthew Ferry talk on Mondays, and his topic yesterday was lower the bar, which sounds weird for a coach to tell you to lower the bar, because usually a coach is telling you to step it up, step it up, step it up, John, step it up. Right. But so many times we don't get started because we set the bar too high. I'm going to make 50 contacts today. And that 50 is so overwhelming that you never get started. So his concept was start out low, lower the bar. I'm going to make one call today. And then make the one call. And if you feel inspired, make two. Take the pressure off yourself. That's kind of the idea of what that was. So when you feel having been put pressure on, it's okay to lower the bar and start doing something, because something is better than nothing. There you go.
I think it's important to note that you build momentum in both ways. So when you say I'm going to do 50 contacts and then you get to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you haven't made one yet, you start building momentum for reasons why not to do it, because, oh, it's already too late. I'm not going to do that. I can't believe I didn't do it yet. And you start falling into that pattern. So the lower the bar is just about building momentum. Lower the bar. Okay, it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to make one contact. You start with one, get to two, get to three, and keep going while you build momentum in the other direction. It's very easy to build momentum in either direction, but if you can take control of it by using a couple little tools like just lowering the bar and that expectation for what you're going to do right now and start feeling better about the activity rather than feeling worse about not doing it, that's the whole perspective there.
Yep. And it's true. It really does happen. I was on a 217-week streak of riding Peloton weekly. 217 weeks in a row, didn't miss a day or a week. And then I broke my rib and I stopped riding. And then what? I lost my momentum, right? So now I'm back down to like 3 consecutive weeks, but I had to start with 20-minute classes instead of 40-minute classes because it's just, I lost my momentum. So it's easier to lower the bar and get started again. So let's give that some thought. Paramount title, Jessica, Real life real estate. Did you guys see yesterday? I know you guys are feeling it. I don't mean to pick on Jessica, but she's doing it. We are in the middle of building a new normal. Inflation reports are down today. They're saying the Fed's going to lower the rate now in September. So interest rates are leveling out. Houses are staying on the market longer. Houses are expiring. Sellers are getting offers. We're doing reverse offers again. Buyers are getting concessions. I was helping Susie with the deal yesterday, and the buyer just couldn't make a decision. So we did a reverse offer to the seller, telling them what we'd take and what concessions we'd pay. And we were paying $425 and $24,000 in concessions. A lot of concessions. And they turned us down. So now we go back on the market. Just not as hot as it used to be. Now we have to compete for listings, defend our values, promise advance to marketing and advertising solutions. What am I inferring to? Zillow Showcase, right? Are you guys watching your stats? Isn't it impressive? It makes a huge difference. So market that. Tell the seller, look, find a similar house like yours and look how many views they're getting versus how many you're getting. It's a 10x number. And then you use that to say, look, we're getting thousands of people looking at it. We're getting no offers. What's that telling you? Value price. There you go. Who else needs to charge more because we're going to do more? So that's good. Okay, let's jump to our top performers for June. I typed that wrong. I forget what month it is.
It's for June.
It's for June. Start at the bottom and let's go up. BE3 Orlando. Mr. Poom, are you on? I didn't see his face. Jet's probably not prepared because he's in Germany. Okay, well, Cheryl wrote a woo, took most listings and most sales, right? Good job, consistent producer. Crystal Washington Booth. Crystal calls me often with stupid agent tricks. I love it. You wouldn't believe what this person told me. How can they even have a license? Yurmis Castillo, most closed units and most closed commissions. That's a big one. And Milenka Bogovic, most closed units, tie for most closed units. Mike Johnson.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, so Christabel did really well this last month with some new listings. She, one of the ways she got them is she was interviewed by a couple that wanted to sell their home, an elderly couple, and they liked her so much they said, you know what, my son may want to sell his house too. So she got both of them.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a, you know, that's how you got to work it. You make the right impression, you get more business. We had, you know, lots of people working hard this month. Lillian had a good month, and Scott and Tanya both had closings, and Scott brought in the most AGC, so we're proud.
I think it's cool to see how we're making sales all over the state now, not just in Tampa Bay. Roger De Leon had 8 closed sides. That's huge. And Miguel saw that he's always in the tops for Miami with most listings and most sales. And with most listings and most sales, what's going to come next? Most closings and most commissions. So good job, Miami. EE3 Pensacola. Shauna? Bart Leveda? No Leveda, no Jen? Well, Joe Bookout joined us most recently. That guy's been flying. Most listings and most sales for the month of June. Thomas Colangelo, most closed units. Terry Cash, most closed units. And Min Tran, he came to the Florida 21 convention. Super, super nice guy. And man, is he productive. So he took most closed commissions. And he's just, you see him on the name on the deal sheet almost every week for sure. Congratulations. And in the Roman group, no Jessica. Wow, you guys, you're going to get a letter from me today. Tina White, most listings. Tammy Johnson, most listings, a tie. Joanna Navarro, I want to say she had 5 units because I stuck out in my head. And Caesar had most closed units and most closed commissions. Very productive team. That'd be B3 West Pasco, which would be Jessica as well. Margaret Greco, I guess we had no listings, no sales, but we had most closed units and most closed commissions. Congratulations to Margaret Greco. Wow. Our team.
Yeah, please meet the ladies in the Brandon office. So in Brandon, with most listings, it was Lauren Fleischman with 2. With most open sides, it's going to be Amy Camasso and Pamela Aris with most open sides. And with most closings, Amy Camasso and Lauren Fleischman. Then taking home most closed commissions is Ms. Andrea DiFilippo. Very, very proud of Pamela Aris to be on this list. She's put in so much work over the last 2 months. She's committed to accountability. She's committed to coaching, and she hasn't liked every bit of it. I promise you that. And she's let it be known, because we're asking her to do things that she's not necessarily comfortable with. But what does she do? She gets up, she gets out, she does it. She's produced multiple listings over the last couple months, multiple sales, and is building her pipeline. So I'm so proud to see the new faces up on this list, along with all of the repeat offenders like Lauren, Amy, and Andrea. You ladies have done an amazing job, and very grateful for all the work you put in. Thank you.
Job. Rachel. Rachel is having mic issues.
They're having mic issues. I'll just jump in on that one because Blake,
Okay.
talk to Blake all the time. Just most listings out of he just works his sphere really well. Bob Dean getting the sales, and Amy coming in with the gross close commission and money earned. That is it, closings and money. So great job to all 3 of you.
Man. I see some guys on the board too.
Yep,
Let's do Madeira Beach while you're there, Jeff.
I'll do it. Captain Danny Galuski coming in with most listings. And he's just so tapped in. Danny, the way he's able to just work his sphere is amazing. Mandy, same thing, most sales. She's done a phenomenal job on that one. Russ Miller is back in business, and he is out there hustling, and he's ready to get to work. Michael Henry comes in, sneaks in with some sales over there, and Stephanie Berry, she's got the grand title. Most closed commissions. A good job. And that you guys watched her on many, many training classes. She just goes out there and struts it and knocks on doors, makes her phone calls and prospects, and loves FISBO. So congrats to all 5 in Madeira Beach.
Yeah, I want to say Mandy had 5 open sales. That's a lot of sales in a month. And I want to say Stephanie, I just want to recognize her because she started relatively new, fairly recently. And she poured it on in the beginning and got no results. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just happens. So that's how it works for all of us. Kathleen.
Good morning, everybody. We see some new faces on the board. We'll start with
Wow.
Jesse. Yeah, look at that. Jesse Griffin, most listings, most closed commissions. That was a gigantic listing. He's rocking it out. Social media king, Longboat Keith. Yes, he is. Sueli Tar. Sueli has been working with investors. She has been out and about in her neighborhood doing tons of farming, and with 3 most sales. Congratulations, Sueli. And Lorene Gouffier, our rock star over here, most closed units, 3 most closed units. She reaches out to her past customers, phone call, phone call, phone call. You want to know how to make phone calls? Tap her. She knows how to make calls and stay in contact with her sphere and to keep everything rolling. So congratulations, everybody on the board. Very proud of you all.
Congrats. South Tampa, Mr. Diener.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, if I can say just one thing, hard work pays off. And I think that's what this board really, really exemplifies. Dale, I mean, constant, if there's anybody he uses his peers of opportunity, he does it. His pillars of opportunity, I should say. He does open houses. He gets his listings from Google reviews and past clients and referrals. He just hits every one of those pillars all the time, and it pays off for him. Lisa, she's been doing a vertical market for the last 1.5 years, and it's finally paying off with most sales. She had 6 for the month. Awesome job. And I'll tell you, the work she's doing, it's very challenging, but it's paying off, and she's doing a lot of hard work. She put her mind to doing this vertical market, and she's doing a great job.
When you say vertical market, what are you talking about?
Yeah, she's working with attorneys for divorces, and she went to training on that. There's a lot of training in order to get with attorneys to be able to do it. And it took her about 6 months to a year to get all the training done just to be able to walk into an attorney's office and have a discussion. So she really went that route. She does a lot of things at attorneys' offices, luncheons and stuff like that. So it's really paying off for her, and is part of her part of the planning that we did a couple years ago to sit down and do it. So it's paying off, and it's exciting.
Yep.
Kevin, most close units for the month. I'll tell you, that's one. Kevin's been doing this a lot longer than I've been doing it, and you know, it's consistently open houses. He works with builders. He has past clients. He does a great job on his letters out to, you know, when he closes a unit. So, I mean, it's the consistency that makes these people successful. Kate's been working with builders and of course some past clients and stuff, and she had most closed units for the month, and we're very proud of her. And Cody, another repeat offender, as Chris said, on the board, most closed commissions. And I watch Cody. I'm telling you, she's worth every penny she earns. I mean, the amount of work she does with these builders to get the job done is phenomenal. I would say I want to be like her when I grow up, but I don't. The amount of work that she does with these builders, I mean, from blueprint on, it's months and months and months of work, hundreds of hours just for one deal. And people don't realize how much work's really involved in it. She does an awesome job of it. So
Cool.
Thank you, South Tampa.
Yes. Huh.
So company teams, Team Imagine has swept the team category with 3 listings, 3 sales, 1 closed side, and most closed commissions for June. Congratulations, ladies. And we don't have the graphic for it, but for our South Shore location, South Shore had come in for Sun City Center. We had Mr. Dick Wilson with 5 listings in June, Raquel Arredondo with 3 open sides, Sandy Tams and Thomas McCombs with 2 closed units, and Miss Sandy Tams took home most closed commissions in the month of June. And then for Apollo Beach, Lisa Sillo, 5 new listings in the month of June. Diane Krikorian, 5 open sides. And then closed units, Kalani Heyman with most closed units, along with Diane Krikorian. Both of them closed 5 units. And then Kalani eked out with the most closed commissions in the month of June. So congratulations. So just to note, so we have some new faces, similar faces on here, but just calling out 2 people, Raquel and Kalani from Sun City and from Apollo Beach. Just noting that it's not always the most easiest of tasks to get on this list. And when you get the listings, get the sales, get the closings and the commissions, sometimes you realize why we get paid what we get paid. And both of those agents have realized why we get paid what we get paid from the month of June with the amount of work that it took to get these deals closed. Just remember that when you have a deal that goes smoothly and closes like that, it's like nothing. Just remember, say thank you, because there's another one around the corner that might take a lot more work, and you never know how much you're going to get paid on that. It might be a $5,000 commission. It might be a $40,000 commission, but we get paid in direct proportion to the amount of value that you provide. And those 2 ladies provided a tremendous amount of value in June for what they did, and they were rewarded greatly for what they put out. So thank you very much.
And Kalani was the #1 commission earner in the company for June. That's a shock. You were really close with Cody though, but you pulled out just by a nose. Cool. All right, next slide. I'll pick it up now. I said this a couple weeks ago. How competent are you at this? And some of you give me funny looks on your faces. So as you're looking for things to add to your to-do list to learn up on, OfferPad and Open Door are a real option for you, right? What we're finding, Mike Meadler at Florida 21 talked about how many deaths, how many divorces, how many births, and all this stuff is going to happen, because that's what real estate's going to be in the next couple of years, because rates are not as attractive. Investors aren't buying as much as they were. So we have to be cognizant of this. And some people are, divorce is a big one. I think I had 4 agent conversations yesterday where the sellers are being divorced, right? And sometimes they just don't want to mess with it, right? So open door is an option.
Real quick on that, we have an active listing on the market that's under contract, and we just got a notification from Open Door or OfferPad that the seller went to them, even though we're under contract now, the seller went to them to get an offer from them. And since it's an active listing, they see that and they notify us that your seller has contacted us for an offer, and we'll keep you posted. Then we have another one that we're working on the listing, and we think that they are starting to look in that direction because of the way the conversation is going. So make sure that you're utilizing this and you know what they do and how to get in contact with them, because it can become a resource for you.
So if you're not familiar with Zillow Showcase, you're seeing lots of examples, some emails and videos on how to use it. Pay attention to that. The Beach Maker, Jeff, you want to talk about that real quick? Don't take a lot of time because I know you're going to do a class on Thursday. But he's revamped it and made it really even more attractive.
Yes, I have. So here's what we're doing. On Thursday morning, I'm going to join Jimmy, and we're going to do kind of a deeper dive for you guys. And then on Thursday night at 6 o'clock, I'm going to do the overview and the deep dive for your customers. And Mike made another graphic and he sent it over. I don't think we ported it around yet today, but we'll do that today. And you guys can post that on your social channels. Here's what we've done. Really simplified this thing because we are committed to selling this thing out. I want to sell it out completely. And so here's what we did. We said, all right, what can we do to make it a no-brainer? So we really adjusted the prices so they're simple. They're basically $725,000. Pick a room. I don't care if it's a king or a double queen, right? Pick the ones you want. And then if you go up before, it's 10 grand. If you go poolside, it's another 10 grand. But that's kind of how the base pricing is working now to really simplify it. Mike Puma put together an amazing part of the website that actually pulls up the blinks, little hotspots on the rooms that are available. You click on that, it pulls up the price, the floor plan, and everything. It's so user friendly. It's awesome. Also incentives we're giving away, including a $40,000 furniture allowance on those, which is pretty awesome. Given we're also going to pay an entire first year of condo fees and all the shared amenity expenses, which is about $700 or $900 to $1,500 a month on that one. Plus, here's the big one: we're giving a guaranteed 8% return away. So 8% return on your investment. So if you bought a unit for $800,000, 8% return of that is $64,000 you're going to get over the course of the year. So as you scroll down there, right there, Chris, there's a new video that I put up there. That's a walkthrough that's the one I did last week or 2 weeks ago. Really just walks through the whole project for people so they can kind of look at it themselves. You can send them your Moxie and they can get educated on their own time and then reach back out. So there where Chris was showing, you see those blinking dots. You push one of those blinking dots and that'll pull up a PDF or a little kind of little window where you see the actual floor plan and you see the incentives on every single one of them. So then there's your price, there's your incentives, done. So this is really simple, easy, and Puma's done a tremendous amount of work on this one. So thank you, Mike, for doing what you did on this one. And guys, all you need to do is spread the word.
That's already updated on your website. You didn't have to do a thing. If you had the Beachmaker tile on the site, it's done.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. And if you don't, maybe Jimmy, if we can send another email out with that graphic, with that little video about how to add the Beachmaker to your Moxies, because everybody should have that on there. And it's simple. So we made this really simple, guys. These are not going on the MLS right now. We've got a couple weeks. I actually sent an email to all the buyers yesterday that we're relaxing their time frames to put their 10% deposit down because I've got some kinks I'm working through with the management company right now. So I'm taking away the pressure. So it's still $5,000 to hold a unit. And we're there. So take a look at the site, guys, and come in on Thursday morning training with me and Jimmy. And then Thursday evening, 6 o'clock, I'm going to be going live. Just put on every social channel that you have. We're going to do it in the training room just where you are right now so we can have a bigger audience. And I think we're going to push it out all over the place. So push it everywhere and have your customers go through it through your Moxie and just look awesome. So we're selling it out. I want you guys to do this. Half the commissions are paid at groundbreaking, which should be in the first quarter of 2025, this coming first quarter. So that's it for now. See you Thursday morning.
Thank you. All right, so Moxie listing and buyer presentations. If you're not comfortable with these things, I really think you need to get comfortable with them. So if you need help, look for the old videos, call us, ask us, we'll help you get through it. My inbox. Angelique went through and shared with me yesterday over the weekend that we had 29 pendings fast closing. That's not a good thing, right? Pending fast closing, it was set to close on June 30th and it didn't. So what happens? Contract's dead, right? We have to do something with it. But what we found is a lot of you were doing extensions and putting them in your loop, but not submitting for review. So if you don't submit for review, the staff doesn't know to move the closing date out. So you're going to get notified by MLS that you are delinquent. We don't want that to happen.
Also with your closings, I know a lot of you are doing paid at closings, which means you get your check at closing.
Yeah.
Some of these past closings are, we have not received the HUD and Century 21 Beggins check yet. So it is your responsibility to make sure that the HUD and the check does come to Century 21. So of the 20 some or so, there's at least 5 to 10 that did close, but we didn't receive the HUD or anything for our portion of the check because either the title company didn't mail it yet, or they're holding on to it, expecting you to pick it up, and it wasn't communicated clearly. So if you can do us a favor, we'll make sure you get your paid at closing, so you get your check, and that makes sure that we also get a copy of the HUD and our check so that we can close it out in a timely fashion as well.
That's fair. Hey. I'm going to blow through these real quick. I can see. Oh, back up. Okay, this is cool. It's not for everybody, but Zillow, the flex team that we have, has been a pain in my ass for a long time. It's been very slow. We get like 30 leads a month and we close 3 to 4. So it's not a moneymaker or anything like that. But Zillow just changed Tampa to an enhanced market, which means they're going to go take away from market-based pricing and move more toward flex. So the brokers I've talked to that have done this have gone from 30 leads a month to 300 or 400 leads a month. So it's going to be big. So I need to grow the Zillow team. So reach out to me if you want to learn more about that. There's going to be training. You have enrolled in Zillow Academy's Enhanced Market Overview and Performance Standards. Click on that one if you wouldn't. Your agents will, you guys are, their team's going to receive emails, but if you want the team to be bigger, let me know. And I will look for a date, but I don't see one. I think it's next coming Friday. But I'll spend more time. So no, that's, I mean, that's a huge opportunity. It's going to ramp up. It's not going to happen all at one time, but to go from 30 leads to 300 is going to be a big deal. And we'll get there. Angelique does all the, in case you missed the training recaps, which was last week, was a replay of the week before. So
You have your closing, make sure your closing is mailed to the Apollo Beach office because that's where they're all processed, not to your local office.
correct.
Make sure you notify the title company because if they see where you're out of, they will choose your local office location sometimes and mail it there. So make sure it's all mailed to the Apollo Beach from the title office. Thank you.
There's a company called First American Title, and they overnight the check and the HUD to my personal home. Where do they get that from? I have no idea. Zillow market updates, hit that real fast. It's just rental stuff. Typical US rent is $2,054 in June, up 0.5% month over month. Why would that be relevant? Because you could buy a house for less than that. Right? And how much cash does they put down on a rental? First, last, and security, that's $6,000. Can you get into a house with like $6,000 with concessions here? That's real important information to know. Typical rent for a single family homes up is $2,288. Multifamily is $1,900, I think it was. And then now we're starting to see 33% of rentals on Zillow are offered at least one concession in June. What kind of concessions do you get on rentals? First month free or something like that. But anyway, so that's just showing you it's still a strong market for people to buy. So if you're finding people that are renting, have conversations with them and let them have some education. Okay. Blue Stars. This is a new buyer broker agreement. We're going to cover it later in the week in trainings. It just opens a preview. It's really, really, really simple to the other one. It just says they're going to pay us a commission, how much they're going to pay us, what our obligations are and their obligations are. It's 3 pages long. And it goes into, this is the hard part. This goes into just like our listing agreement. What if it's an option? What if they decide to go for a rental? What if they decide to buy a single family, right? How do we get paid in all those circumstances? So we have the same problem discussing that with a buyer that we have with the seller, because they always want to cross through. I don't want an option, cross that out, but we'll play the game. protection period. This is the cool part. Chris and I were talking about this yesterday. Once you have them signed up, they can fire you anytime. But you're protected if you showed them a house while you were under agreement. So I'm working with Kim. For some reason, I don't like Kim. I decided not to work with her, but she showed me 4 houses. And then I'm working with Jackie. And Jackie takes me back and shows me the same house that Kim showed me. Kim gets it. So it's been more important for you to know the history of your buyer and who they've been working with and what they've seen, because you don't want to show the same house twice. Interesting. Little nuances, right? And those are all in .loop right now. If you go to .loop with the Florida interactive forms, we're going to go into it. Recurring costs will be the one with the buyer broker agreement. Yep. Where was I going with that? Oh, that's cool. Next one, breaking news. We've got our dedicated showcase rep now. So Lindsay is like, if we have any questions or challenges, we've had challenges, you know, Zillow is complicated. So with the listing up, you had one that they put the wrong agent's picture and contact information on your listing. We had it fixed in an hour, but we now have a dedicated rep just for that. So I sent that out yesterday. Jimmy's tip of the week, Moxie Engage's sales flow. That's a little more advanced than what most of you are doing, but that's what a CRM is designed to do. As you put your contacts into the CRM and you update them, you move them through a sales flow process. And Jimmy shows us how to do it in this video. So you all got that email. Oh, just play the best practices one real quick. Up one more up. Nope, down one. That one. This is scroll down. NAR. We recommend all MLSs implement practices by August 17th. Offers of compensation are prohibited on MLSs. That means you cannot write it in. We're seeing it on the MLS now. Somebody put in there, listing broker will pay 2.5% commission to selling broker. You cannot have anything to do with the mention of MLS compensation in the MLS. No compensation, period. That's a $500 first-time fine, $2,500 second-time fine. Agents working with a buyer must enter into a written agreement before touring a home. Ahead of August 17th, NAR encourages all members to address form changes and prepare to educate real estate professionals and consumers about revised forms. If they give us the forms, it'd be better. NAR policy does not dictate terms of buyer agreements, but NAR has created resources to assist with this. So this is kind of what I'm studying from the national level, but Georgia is different than Tennessee, which is different than Florida, which is different than Texas. So there's going to be nuances for all these things, but this is coming down the pike. And then we've got that one. That's the same thing. And birthday's the last one on the slideshow. Oh. Our winners for the contest, did I announce that last week? No, we had Florida Twins. Okay. So those are our winners. They won the $499 prize and they all came to the event and had a very good time. So congratulations to our winners. And Nancy Conley's birthday was yesterday and she must be still celebrating because I don't see her. Susie Brush's birthday was yesterday as well as Angela Morris. So 3 admin and Apollo Beach people, 5 July 15th birthdays. Caridad and Victor. Cody Calvo is today. Happy birthday, Cody. Lawrence White from Brandon on the 17th. Tomorrow, along with Linus. Captain Curtis White on the 18th. Michelle Camp coming up on the 18th as well. Benton Baker from South Tampa and Terry Farless in Apollo Beach on the 21st. So busy birth week ahead.
Couple of questions online. What if what do you do with our current listing showing commissions? We'll manage your listings, so we'll manage the commissions and make sure that they're removed. Stellar is going to go ahead and remove all commission
Fields.
blanks. So all the commission blanks that are in the data form and when you go for input, they're going to get removed so they won't be there. So we'll talk about what they're going to add, what we're going to do, how to address those, how to make sure the verbiage is correct. So just pay attention over the next 2 weeks. Most of our classes are going to be dedicated to that.
Most importantly, how much do you get paid if you sell that house? Who's going to pay it? That's the question.
Start,
You know-
and start answering your phones. Start answering your phones because people are going to start reaching out to see if there's any
If you're a
compensation.
listing
stuff.
agent,
So
especially.
you got to be answering
What
your
a
phones.
great opportunity to build rapport with a buyer's agent and pre-sell your listing before they get there. If And especially if you're paying them a good commission. Right? Challenging. But without changes, Joe? Rentals do not fall under this. I've had 2 national webinars on this now, so I'm pretty confident saying that. Kim? Mhm. We're going to update all of our forms for the new listing, whether
So
that
if you're
be.
ta- if you're ta- everything as per usual that you've been doing. As the new forms come out, we're going to direct you on what we need to get signed, addressed to change it. The current listing agreement states that we will put it in MLS, we will offer compensation in MLS. That's what some of the verbiage in that listing agreement states. They haven't addressed the listing agreement yet. They literally just released the buyer brokerage agreement last week, 3 weeks ahead of when they want these changes to take place. So they're pretty much kind of dragging their feet too. Once we get the listing agreement, we'll address that. We'll make sure that all of our listing agreements are compliant the way that they need to be. We'll make sure the MLS is compliant. We'll help you take care of all those things. So don't worry about it right now. Move forward as usual with the forms that we have. And then we will address what needs to be done. Do we need to have a commission agreement signed? Do we need a separate agreement signed? We'll make sure we have those for your listings. And then we'll also make sure you have what you need for your buyers. So just that's why I said, stay tuned. We're going to do everything we can to communicate that as clearly as possible through the morning meetings and then through other videos.